Welcome to Paperweights, the podcast where two self-proclaimed gym rats and shooting enthusiasts delve into the world of literature with a sprinkle of humor. Although their biceps could crush a walnut, don't let that intimidate you. They also have a nerdy side. Mike and Brandon have a voracious appetite for reading, particularly in the fantasy genre, and they want to share their passion with you. So grab your protein shake and your favorite novel and join us for a humorous and insightful journey into the world of books with Paperweights.
Welcome back to another episode of the Paperweights. I'm your host, Brandon.
And Justin.
And today we will be finishing our discussion of Book 1 of the Licanius Trilogy, The Shadow of What Was Lost by James Islington. Kind of exciting book. I enjoyed it all the way to the end. I'm so used to Brandon Sanderson's Sanderlanches that are like 100 to 200 pages long, and having this one just creep up and then be over in like 40, 50 pages was different.
Yeah. We got to see what Licanius is, possibly.
Yeah. It was not a woman, but a
Though he does call it a her, so maybe it will turn into a lady.
maybe it'll turn into a lady. Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are sponsored by Mudcat Whiskers, which is a Louisiana small business that sells men's grooming and beard care products. So if you want to support our sponsor and, you know, make yourself have a very awesome beard and mustache, go on over there, get yourself some beard oil, some wash conditioner, balm butter, anything like that. But if you don't have a beard, it's okay. He also sells cologne, shaving creams, and candles, scented and unscented. So use code Paperweights at checkout and you'll save yourself 15%. Let's see. Before we dive into this discussion, we got a 3D printer last week. I've just been printing
That's
some
cool.
stuff and got a little articulated crawfish here.
You gonna sell my Coast Con this weekend?
No. One of the claws is articulated a little bit. The other
Yeah.
one, it didn't print correctly. The plastic melted, so the claw doesn't articulate. But
Yeah.
hey,
That's fun.
yeah, but it's cool. It's neat. The app that comes with it, people load models so you can go search and you just click and make sure it's dimensions are designed for your printer that you have. It'll let you know. It'll list the compatible printers, and you can click it. You can see it. You can resize it if you want. Choose the filament you want, and then print. Uh, Sometimes it messes up, but we're learning and we're working with it. So
Yeah. Cool
Jules
tech
wanted one,
thing.
so
Uh-huh.
yeah, got a
That's
good
fun.
deal from a friend of mine who had one used that he didn't want anymore. So.
Hmm.
Um, all right. So before we get into the discussion, again, I said that already, but next week we're going to discuss Dungeon Crawler Carl 2. I think Carl's Doomsday Scenario is the name of it.
Yes.
We're going to intersperse the Licanius books with something a little less intense. A little
Yeah.
more fun, just to kind of break things up and keep this podcast fun. So, all right, Justin,
Yes.
book one, Licanius. What are your thoughts?
I enjoyed it. Um, definitely. It's definitely one of those books where the mystery is more important than the plot, I guess. Because I can't really tell you the plot of this book. It's like, I guess, I mean, get into it, but like an immortal wizard set up a immortal time traveling wizard set up a scenario to get a weapon. It guesses that's the plot of the book,
Yeah.
which is weird, but cool. Um, like I I think the weakest part, and it sucks that it's only a three book series, is like the bad guys are like not explained at all. Which I assume book two and book three are going to get into that more with like oh my God, the like Forsaken-esque the people like the starts with a V,
The
Venture,
Venerate.
Venerate, yeah,
Yeah.
Venerate. But like the blind, I'm just like they're might as well be Trollocs. But I think the characters are fun. The time travel is interesting. And the magic system is it's fine. It's kind of just it's not really a magic system per se, at least right now. But I mean, magic's cool. The characters are cool. Interested to seeing them grow and get more answers, basically, which would probably make this book way better on a reread.
Yeah, I would agree. There's a lot of things that's like still mysterious. Um, and on a reread, it would be uh go, oh, okay, that makes sense. Now I can see that from a mile away, something that I just read over and said, I don't know what that is, and just, continue reading. Later on, you go, oh, okay, that's what that was. It was
Yeah,
torn
like
the whole time.
all the like, you know, future telling shit, like when Asha tells the Shadraheen with the message, like that will make sense. But yeah, it's interesting. I did call that Talcamar was Arkham Divine. I didn't. It was one of the. I posed it as a theory, but it was proven correct. Which was fun.
Yeah. I didn't think he was, but um yeah,
I think you also called it that the guy was like the fucking devil or whatever. Like his friend was the devil.
oh, Alaris.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I knew that. I was like, that dude is not that he has some other motive other than being like, oh hey, yeah, we're good. It's like,
Yeah.
no. Um, I think he is the voice that was talking to Talcamar in the prologue.
Yeah.
Um, so no,
Definitely.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was more questions than answers.
Hmm.
I thought it was more less like plot dependent and more character um, discovery
Yeah.
dependent book. There were characters that were introduced that I hope we see again. Um,
Yeah.
like
We found out the identity of the hot girl.
yes, we did, and you know
We
what's
we
hilarious?
called it though.
You know what's hilarious?
Hmm.
I when he met the chick, I I stopped reading and I made a note. I think this is the chick he ran into in the marketplace. And then when I went back and started reading again, the second paragraph after I started reading again, it's like, oh yeah, you bumped into me in the marketplace. I was like, what the hell? Okay.
Like we knew it. He would just add a hot chick for no reason. Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you can't just have a hot chick and not bring them back.
Yeah.
It got that scene though did kind of remind me of Jasmine in Aladdin.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, ah, what are you doing out here? But it wasn't the princess. So, um,
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go through finish the kind of summary for the last section.
Okay. Uh, well, if you listen to the podcast, you would have listened to some of the stuff because I went over it. Okay, starts off. Davian is in God, Dylanus or whatever.
Dylan, yeah.
Yeah. And he basically gets into the mind of Malshesh, sees all the crazy shit I told you about last week, which is like his wife getting killed and him like torturing this dude and going all crazy. And then so that was cool. I don't know. Perhaps he's Talcomar or Arkan Divide, perhaps not. We don't really know who that guy is yet. It could be Davian. Probably nothing. Um, we do learn maybe this chapter, maybe last time that in order to like shapeshift, the person has to be dead.
Yeah, that
Uh,
was in one of the first two chapters in this section.
yeah. So we learned that. Then basically he goes through the portal and like comes back to Earth or whatever it's called in this world. And he starts heading off to Elun. That's kind of like Davian doing stuff. Probably more stuff there, but get to it when we get to it. Let's see. Like the Elun stuff. Basically they're preparing for a siege. Um, they maybe it's this section where they get reunited, or Asha and Weir gets reunited. Might have been last in the last section, I can't remember. Um, but they're preparing for a siege. One of the big things is that
I was trying to confirm whether it was or not.
yeah, it all kind of blends together. I don't really
It
remember.
does.
I don't really remember where like but basically they're preparing for a siege for because oh after Davian gets out he has a vision that the army that got sent to fight the blind gets fucking murked, so he's like, oh shit, I gotta go over there. um
And he
so they're
basically pewter drags himself.
basically, yeah, you can like manipulate time to make him less tired and crazy shit. Yeah, basically pure drags. We'll just do Davian. He then gets to an inn and meets the couple people. He meets the hot chick that we were talking about. What's her name?
Ishel.
Yeah, Shell, who is an augur who can turn invisible and teaches him that he kind of learns that trick from her. And they're like, "Hey, you should come with us to Tol Shin to like help uh the get the barrier up and running." And he's like, "No, I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna go help my friends up." And they're like, "Cool." They're like, "Oh, well, that's sad," but he leaves to go to Ilola. Uh, trying to think. The king is very sick. He's kind of like being all crazy. We learn out that he's being controlled by somebody. We don't find out who. Um, and he's like adamant against changing the tenants. Kind of wants to like genocide the mages, but it doesn't do it yet. But basically being very erratic.
Was it in this section? I think in this section we found out that Weir, it was the story was that he was sent away to Caladel or whatever
Yeah,
for like some
yeah,
like
that's his cover story.
yeah, that was cover story that his father had sent out. Um, which
Yeah,
actually what's his name sent out?
yeah,
Aaron.
yeah. We learn that later. We can set it out. We learn that Aaron has been controlling the North Order, and that's why he had to change his heart and all the
I
gifted.
told you in the first section when we were talking about the North Warden, I told you it was odd that he would want to um change like change the tenants or be accepting of the gifted because he put the tenants in place. I told you something was odd about that, and it definitely proved it
Yeah,
here.
yeah. I mean, I could have seen it if, like, he saw the brutalities of war and kind of had a softening of his heart that could also work. It would just be a different character. But yeah, it turns out he's been being controlled for years by Aaron, one of the augurs. Okay. So Asha's stuff. Asha gets her memories back, right? That happened this time. Yeah.
Yes, she got
Yeah.
her memories back.
And confronts the dude that took her memories and made it to her shadow, and he gets arrested. Um,
Timvar.
Tinvar, yes.
Yeah.
Uh, who is working with the bad guys, find out. And he gets mind raped by Davian. It's crazy. Um, so yeah, she's doing that. She's like, she found out that they can use essence to power the vessels. So she's like, hey, maybe we can get the shadows to help fight because we can use the weapons, and they're not bound. We're not bound by the tenants because we can't channel uh control essence. Whatever, all these different words for you and magic. And the North Warden is reluctant right now because he'd be put in the hands of terrorists. Uh, let's see what else. Um,
She does beat finally, like she calls the bluff of the Shadraheen
yeah,
signer or whatever, and it's like,
yeah,
let me meet with the actual with her, and
yeah.
ends up
And
meeting with her.
meeting up with her, they make a deal.
Prophecy fulfilled. Doop, doop.
Prophecy fulfilled. She gives Davian's message to her. We find out that they're augurs. At least one, at least Scrivener,
Signer is
Signer
definitely a
is.
pre-war augur.
Yeah, and I'm guessing so is the Shadraheen. They just shadowed themselves because they actually don't use essence. So it's actually a pretty smart way to
Hide.
hide. Yeah. Um. So yeah. So she goes meets the Shadraheen. We're doing this completely out of order, but it doesn't really matter. Um.
It's easy. It's
Yeah.
easier to follow along each plot or person than it is to remember the order that things were going in.
True. So yeah, she does that. She fights in the battle and does other stuff. Yeah, that's her. So
Yep.
Caden,
Yeah, Caden Terrace.
yeah, Caden and Terrace, they're trying to get his memories back, but they're not. Uh, Basically, the elders don't want to do it. They because he had pesky thing of being a murderer, and then they also they don't like a terrorist. So ends up getting confined to the castle and then he starts a little romance with the princess. He breaks out and goes and sees the dude that
Did,
Alaris told him to go see.
but didn't he run into Tenvar in the cellar first?
Yes, he does. He runs into Tinvar and Tinvar recognizes him and says like, "I has come, Great Lord," or something like that. Um,
And he's like, "Well,
more.
that was weird. Why?
Yeah,
Why'd you call me that?"
yeah. Who could ever know? But yeah, he goes and meets with that merchant contact that
Havram Daz.
yeah, Havram does. It's a trap. Some blind attack him and attack the princess because she followed him, and he like kills all of them in a pretty cool way, using time magic. Um, and then takes her back and like does climbs up the does a secret passage basically to get her back to her quarters so nobody saw her sneak out. Starts a little budding relationship. We got kind of all of our pairs potentially for this series. We've got Weir and the sister, the cousin, the sister of Disha or something like that.
Dizia.
Itzia. and we got Davian and Asha, Caden, Arkin David, uh, and
Caroline.
Caroline. So that's that's fun. Um, we'll see if all that um, checks out. Caroline might get cheated on by a sword if the sword turns into a lady. We'll have to see. So he does that. He eventually does a crazy battle shit. We won't be. Well, I guess we'll do all the battle stuff when that happens. But basically, that's kind of what he does. Weir is just kind of doing stuff. He reunites with Asha. Just being like princeling guy. I think that's kind of all he does. I mean, he's interesting, but that's kind of all he does.
Yeah. What did I write with him?
I'm trying to think what else happens. I mean, reunites with his father and talks with his father a lot, which helps when you know, his father dies. Um, eventually Davian returns. Suddenly Palpatine returns. Davian comes back. There's um, much rejoicing. But he does let's spill that Rear was at Toll, yeah,
Talathian.
whatever.
Yeah.
Tolathian. Too many tolls. Um, and which caused a stir because nobody knew, he was there. Got out of the bag. Um, yeah, that basically happens. Then Davian goes and gets the information from the prisoner, God, Taryn or Tolan or whatever the
Tenvar.
fuck. Tinvar.
Yeah.
I don't
I'll
remember
help you
any.
keep straight here.
Yes, Tinvar. He mind rapes him and steals the information. Uh, turns out he was basically a dark friend um, for the bad guys, and uh, everything was set up basically for him to, he's like, yeah, just tell him to head north. They'll figure it out. Um, because everything was preordained because this has already happened before. Because you
Yeah,
have time travel.
so that one that when he mind raped Tenvar, he basically got Tenvar's memory of Caden coming to him.
Yeah, maybe.
In some fashion, like he was
It was either Caden or one of the V people, the Venerant or whatever.
I think it was Caden because when Caden got his memories back, when he went through a portal, like he went into the room, grabbed the vessel and poured power into it. He went through a portal. It opened a portal and he went through and he met with a guy
Is-
named Garatus Rudagan,
Yeah,
and
just like an alien or something, or maybe an angel.
yeah, it was the protector the of Licanius,
Yeah,
and I think it is a Lith, and so basically he proved himself in some manner worthy of getting the sword, but he has a year and a day, which reminded me of
the Green Knight.
fucking Guy Shane.
And okay,
Um, a year and a day to free the Lithe. Um,
yeah,
but then so he asks for his memories, and so he gives him some of them, but he's like, I want one more. Let me tell me what happened right before I went to the forest. And then that was the him meeting with Tenvar, giving him the box and saying, give it to Davian, tell him to go north, and then the box will end up back with him. So he got rid of his memories
yeah.
and then went through. Um,
There's more stuff that happens in that flashback, but that memory. But yeah.
yeah, I mean, there's so much that happens that I forget.
So that's the flash. Well, that's at the end of the basically the end of the book where he then goes to the town and kills Caden and assumes his form, but is caught by Caden's mom and has to kill the entire town. And we get the reason why he mutilated all their faces is so he can shapeshift into them and nobody will know, what they look like. Because he is Arkan David. Or Caden or fucking God.
Talcamar.
Talcumar.
Yeah, that does definitely happen. He was
Yeah.
he's murdering a child and mutilating his face and was mid transformation when the mom walked in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you it's like a lot of like Tanavast. Like there's like Tana Fast and shit like that named in these things. I was like, oh, it's the Starfather's here. Do you ever get any of that?
Mm,
They're not quite Tanavast, but it's like close enough to where I'm like, ah.
yeah,
Forget all that.
I don't recall any of those.
There's a couple.
Oh,
But yeah. Yeah, so that's the end of the book. Basically he gets the information to distrust Caden, and he's like, hey, we need to stop him from getting to the vessel. Spoiler, it doesn't work. Um Basically the battle happens, the blind are like OP as shit. They can like use, I guess, time magic almost as well because they can like go really fast. They can they have like armor that makes them basically invincible, invulnerable from magic and con, or essence and con. So they're just kind of kicking the shit out of the uh the good guys. So they're losing badly. They're falling back to different defensive lines. Um, uh, yeah, the Caden and not Caden, Davian and so during this battle, the shadows show up. There's a lot of cool fighting. During this battle, the North Warden dies. Rip. Um, and he's like, change the tenants and don't change the tenants, but he promises them to change the tenants, which is the auger guy telling them through that to do that. So they go to change the tenants. They do. They basically just take out the one where you like the fourth tenant, third tenant, or whatever, or like you can't do something. I don't know. I couldn't remember all the tenants.
yeah, one of the big ones he changed. So all of them, he changed the wording that they could use essence to um, protect. Like they can use it to attack if it's in service of protecting whatever.
Mm.
Then there was one where it it was changing it so that the administrator you didn't have to do exactly what an administrator told you to do, which was
Yeah,
kind of OP and like scary.
yeah. Because Davian had to like suck the life out of that one administrator,
Yeah.
which was gnarly.
Um,
Yeah, so basically they're basically the oaths from the Aes Sedai now, except for they can still lie, and I guess they can also still make magic weapons if they knew how.
yeah,
Um,
but he also had to what's weird didn't have essence at the time.
yeah, Davian. He basically
Davian had to
channeled it through Davian
yeah.
after Davian sucked dry that one guy.
Such
That's what happened. He turned to dust.
yeah, he did turn to dust. And somebody else later turned to dust, right?
Yeah, the like general of the blind or whatever that Caden kills.
Yeah.
But yeah, they changed the tenant so the gifted can fight, even though it doesn't really do anything because they just get owned. As this is happening, basically the blind go in through the toll, because the Shateths have like betrayed them and shown them the secret passageways. So everything is fucked basically.
Oh, here was the thing. Um, the last one he changed was, I swear that as no administrator may kill or bring harm of any kind to me, I shall not kill or bring harm of any kind to an administrator. So that disallowed the what that administrator was Islenar was doing.
yeah, but because he was able to get around it by like basically being like Hal from 2001. It's like, I am helping. This is the best way to help y'all is to kill all of y'all.
Yeah, I believe this was the best way to help y'all.
Yeah,
So I'm not hurting anybody.
basically, yeah. Um, which is fun. Um, yeah. So the battle is going on. They're getting their ass kicked. The Gifted aren't really doing anything. They're just getting owned. Um, Kate, Kaden went through the portal, got like Canius, and talked to that demon or whatever that guy is.
We'll find out later.
A different race. I don't know. Crazy thing. Not a snake dude though.
Not a snake, dude.
So
Was it a fox?
maybe, maybe might as well be. Basically, they're fixing to lose. Caden like pops out of a portal and is like, "What's up? I'm gonna kill you all. I got this cool sword that I have." I have Calendar. Uh, and he basically like blows them all up, and they all retreat. Uh, The epilogue is what we talked about him getting back his memories. Davian is going to go to Tol Shin and see what happens there. They're like the more power hungry Tol, so I don't know what that means. Let's see. Asha's gonna like stay here and like work on relations with the shadows and all that stuff. And Weir's doing this thing. He's now like the North Lord.
Yeah, he's gonna work with his uncle.
Yeah, who is now better because he's not being controlled. We get some stuff with the North Warden's secretary and uh, Tana Terrace at the end where like they were
Taris and Layman. I think
yeah.
Layman's the king's
I thought he was
secretary.
the North Warden either way, it doesn't really matter. All kind of stuff. But they're in cahoots, so they've been like, you know, planning stuff from the behind the scenes. Buh.
I got a sense of feeling, and yeah, I
Oh,
mean that's pretty.
we also get Terrace set up Davian to get his ass kicked and to have the thing.
Yeah, I also got the sense that Taris and Layman or whatever were um, responsible for creating or influencing the Shateth. It seemed like at the end when they were talking.
I don't know.
We know I remember earlier in the book somebody mentioned it was either in a flashback or something that the it wasn't Arcane Devade that created the Shateth. It was his enemies, like whoever opposed them, created the
Yeah,
Shateth to fight against whatever.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, that would make him another like immortal time traveler, which I guess he could be.
yeah, I feel like they were two of at least a trio because Niam was in cahoots with them as well.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean the Shatef have been around for seems like thousands of years, I guess.
okay,
And
yeah,
that's what I actually don't know, so I just kind of
yeah, I
it
don't
seems like
either. I
it.
mean,
Yeah,
but I mean, this could be just 200 years that just is in a loop.
true. Um, yeah, we get like a lot of like we get a lot of like terms that like are meaningless, but I guess will mean stuff. later, like the Pillars of Renewal, like kind of heard something, but like we get a lot of like jargon thrown in that we have no context for. It's a little annoying.
Yeah, I would agree.
That's why I think it's like this book is just good for a reread. But yeah, that's kind of it. There's probably more. I mean, there's obviously more stuff, but the general gist of it,
Yeah.
since we're not going chapter by chapter. Yeah. Uh, you ready
So
for
one thing we didn't
characters?
talk about in the
Yeah.
last section when Davian was in Atlantis is the advisor, which I thought was pretty cool.
Hmm.
It just slipped my mind talking about it. But in this section, especially right after he went to, I mean, we talked about it a little bit that the fact
Yeah.
that he goes, "Hey, I need this," and it brings him exactly what he needs.
Yeah.
Um, but when he returns to his body and he goes to the library and to the advisor, it basically gives him one book and then it stops working.
Yep.
And I think somebody, I don't think it was just time that did that. Somebody sabotaged it to prevent him from gaining more knowledge, I feel.
I
Um,
can see that.
but that's where he got a cool story out of it. It kind of reminded
Yeah.
me of some of Hoyd's stories,
Yeah.
where you're like, "What's this?" And it's just basically a parable of a guy, a king, a mortal king that runs a place, and then his subjects are being slaughtered by another immortal thing. And so he goes and
Yeah.
confronts them and says, whatever. He goes, "Well, you're going to serve me one day." He's like, "What? No, I'm not." He's like, "Yeah, you are. I'll give you three tasks to prove that you won't. And if you succeed in one of them, then you won't have to. But if you fail all of them, um, then you will serve me." And what was when I was reading that, and we're not going to go into the details because everybody
Yeah.
read it, but what was funny about that is it had to be dependent on the order because if he met the woman first and fell in love, he wouldn't have had a distrust of bringing them before him
Yeah.
and then him offering something, um, and that person taking it because the other two he brought to him and said, "Okay, well, that's cool, but what if I offered you this?" And they're like, "Huh, yeah, that's great. Like, this guy offers me something that could have a boat in it, but you offer me a boat. Like, I'm gonna take the boat because I know it's the boat."
Yeah.
And then he fucking murks them. And so at the end, the and we gotta figure out what the fuck this story means. Um,
I mean, I'm assuming it's gonna be like Caden or maybe Davian. I don't
your camera went out of focus again.
know.
Bring your
Sorry.
face forward.
Mm.
All right, now bring it slowly back. There you go.
I have a feeling it's gonna be about like one of our main dudes. I don't know. But yeah, we do get that.
Probably.
I've thought I heard that name before, like the name of the dude, but I don't know.
What was the name?
It's her saying,
Gash
yeah,
and Alaris Sar?
yeah,
Alaris Shar? I mean,
yeah,
Alaris, god dang. Alaris and Alaris, the guy that Archind Evade spoke to,
yeah,
um, those are very similar names.
yeah,
Could be um, era dependent spellings of the same name.
yeah, yeah. So yeah. You want to go to characters or what?
Let me see. World building setting.
Or I guess we're going, yeah,
We mentioned already the Venerate or like the Forsaken.
possibly.
Oh, one thing that was cool It's very Matrix-like. Was Davian was like, "All right, I'll fight with a sword," and they're like, "You don't know how to use a sword." He's like, "Give me a second." Reads Aelric and goes, "All right,
I
now I do.
I know kung fu.
I know kung
Yeah,
fu.
that was
Show
cool. Also, like when they were like, all right, the armor like gets rid of magic, but he like a terrorist uses like the magic to push the daggers into their face. That was cool.
Yeah, when you were talking about the armor earlier, I was like, "Oh yeah, it it absorbs magic, but if you use magic with a against another object, it
Mhm.
works.
Yep,
They can't stop that."
kind of like a certain medallion.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
The fox head
another
medallion?
yeah, maybe yes.
Huh. Yeah.
That's literally that's actually its weakness. Um,
What's funny is in Sunlit, I'm reading Sunlit Man, and no spoilers, but one character cannot do anything to attack something. Like there, he freezes up. Like he literally like locks up
hmm.
whenever something happens. But he made something into a long barbell pole as somebody was falling, and so the person just like fell on top of it. Um, so he got around it for a second, but
There you go. I mean, I mean, we got to meet some of the blind, but like the learn about their cool armor. That's like
it's
woven
made of,
from the scales of the monsters or whatever.
yeah, where who found one earlier?
Terrace.
Taurus had it or he
Yeah,
found it in the ground?
wait, I mean both. He found it previous to this book.
Okay.
They show he's the guy that showed us showed them the scale. So we got to see them, which is pretty cool. Uh, you know, they speak the same language. One of the guys talked to Caden before he got murdered by Licanius. Um, we got to see the crazy demon realm that Licanius was in and talk to those guys. That was crazy. That was some world building.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel like the conduit or whatever that runs the city that's down in the sanctuary,
hmm.
I feel like that's got to be something important.
I would say so.
And the what did the blind not so somebody let the blind in through a secret passageway that came through the sanctuary?
The Shateth.
The
But it
Shateth.
didn't go through the sanctuary. It was like the tunnels beneath Palath, which I guess maybe is part of the sanctuary.
It was mentioned that they went by the conduit and it didn't affect them at all. Whereas
Mm.
like most people that get close to it, um, like end up dying. And that other previous Shateth that we saw down there, like he could show up. Hey, and that's how he showed up. He went. That I think that I think that makes sense now. Like he knew that pathway, but
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you got to see the tenants get rewritten, which was pretty cool. Um,
So, well, I guess I'll save that for predictions. Dang it. We're going
we
all
can,
out of
we can,
order
we can
now.
do it now.
Who do you think
It's our podcast.
it is our podcast? So, first of all, the only thing I wrote for like I was like, man, I've got the thing that I don't like. My least favorite thing in this section. I finally have one. And I wrote it down. I was like, the fact that both the tenants being changed and the king being freed of influence happened off screen. And then it happened in the next chapter
Mm.
or two chapters. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, you still didn't tell us who was controlling the king.
Yeah.
Um, so who do you think?
I mean, the like Taylor's and them had a theory that it was um the Toll oh my god
Shen?
Toll Shin people to get more power.
I
It
could see
seemed
that.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe I could see it being the Shadraheen.
What if it was a complex? Like what? This wouldn't make sense though. I was gonna say that what if somehow the North Warden controlled the king, but then Aaron controlled the North Warden,
Yeah, probably
and
not.
the control was already like the command was already put in place
Yeah,
before the North Warden was controlled. But we also don't know how long the king had been controlled.
just a couple months.
Okay, so you had Driskin Thrall was the guy that was associated with Tol Shen. Um,
Yeah, and
Ishel.
the lady Ishel, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, maybe it's them. Maybe it's like the blind people or like the the dark friend gifted that are in there. That makes sense too. There's a lot of shady people in there.
What? Here's another theory. So
Could be fucking future Davian. I don't know.
either it was either somebody gave up control or the person died, right?
Yeah.
Um, and then we could also talk about the North Warden's death scene, but what if it was Toll, like the other augur that died? What if he was controlling the
Yeah, I mean,
king somehow in opposition of Aaron and wasn't necessarily Aaron's friend?
maybe. I don't know.
But I don't think Aaron
Uh,
told anybody that he was controlling the North Warden as well. So
yeah.
Toll wouldn't have known.
Yeah, and also, why would he want the blind to win unless he was also a bad guy?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I don't know.
but
There, this series is like so many questions. And it's kind of like I'm just like, all right, I'll just let it tell me what's going on.
that's how I feel
Uh,
too. That's how I feel about a whole lot of series, actually. Not that they have
yeah,
too many questions, but when you give me questions, a lot of times I just go, all right, well, you're gonna tell me, so I'm not gonna sit
yeah.
here in theory craft, but
Like honestly, like this book was cool. I don't really understand what the fuck is going on in this book. Like, do you? Like, what is actually happening?
um, like on a grand scale,
On like a semi-grand scale? I have no idea what the blind are or what they're doing. I have no idea what the Shateth are or what they're doing. I have no idea what Caden, aka Arkan David, is doing, besides like getting Licanius to do something.
I don't know what his goal is. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what his goal is. I don't know what the goal of future Davian or regular Davian, besides I guess to prepare the wall or whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
like I think the only sure thing that I know of is that Davian wants to repair and reinforce the boundary.
yeah,
It's like the only real thing, right?
yeah. Like I kind of understand what Ash is doing, but also she has like mysterious powers or something because she was the only one to stay alive and like um future Davian said that she's not going to become, so she has like obvious crazy powers, even though her storyline's kind of simple. But yeah, I kind of just thought, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, it's like a giant prologue.
Basically, yeah. And it's not bad. It's just like, yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But like, if you think about any like other book, you kind of know what everybody's goals are. Like if we just did like real time, easy one. Like he wants to defeat the Dark One. The bad guys want to stop him from doing that kind of. Gain more power, and everybody kind of has a thing. Game of Thrones, you kind of understand what Ned Stark is doing. You understand what all the different children are kind of doing, and then the bad guys there. They want to get power, machination, blah 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 blah. It's complicated, but it's kind of simple in its plot or whatever. This, I'm like, it probably is simple. He was like the bad guy that got forced into the pact with the devil or something. Did a lot of bad shit. He needed to become like worthy of Excalibur, basically. So he then got rid of his memory so he could become a different person, so he could get the sword and like beat the devil. That's kind of what I'm thinking is what the main meta plot is. But yeah, and I don't really know how Davian is fitting in this. I don't know how Weir is gonna go bed forward. I don't really know what he's gonna be doing next book, but we'll see. But yeah, I don't know. This book is weird.
What if and we'll get to the North Warden's death scene, but
Hmm.
what if um Talcamar is Alaris Shar, and this whole thing is him trying to get back at Gash
Yeah.
for making him serve him.
Yeah, I can see that. He was that dude, and he had to like basically, break the cycle. He's tried all the rest of the shit for 4,000 years. So he's tried to like basically become a different person by purging his memories, and then like get the crazy sword to do something.
What was his wife's name in that
Oh,
story?
yeah.
Oh well.
Oh well, but yeah,
North Warden's death scene.
it was
So
very
he's like
cool.
he he's telling him change the tenets, and then right before he's dying, like actively dying, it changes, and I think that's when he left control of him.
Yeah,
Let Aaron gave up control over him, and then he saw him with his own mind because he's like, Weir or Torin, what are you doing? Why are you so old? I
yeah,
don't want to die. Like he hadn't seen him since he grew up.
yeah. Basically, since a little bit before, I mean, it was when he was torturing. So it was like after the war, basically. He was torturing Gifted.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, pretty crazy. It was a cool reveal. Um, makes sense for how disjointed you hear that he's like a bloodthirsty monster, but then also, he's being really cool. Um, yeah, it is very crazy that just have mind control powers that can work seemingly a long, long distance, and you know, um, but yeah, it was fun.
And we don't know where Aaron and Ferris are going
Yeah,
yet.
they left because they get attacked by the Shadraheens, the dude that was posing as the Shadraheen, who turned out,
Signer.
yeah, Signer, who turned out to be an augur, one of the old augurs. So we actually have a lot of augurs now because we have Davian, the chick, him, probably the Shadraheen, I'm guessing. We have the two because the third one died. We have the
Yeah,
two of them.
Aaron and Fessy.
Yeah. Um, But yeah, it's fun.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, you have any other characters you want to talk about?
no, I mean they're all kind. We kind of covered their stuff. The only thing I was mentioning, I'm guessing Carolyn is going to be a bigger part of the books as like their relationship grows. Um,
Do you think
so
the king dies and she takes the place?
mm,
Because she's first in line for the throne, huh?
yeah, because she's like his daughter.
So it would have been Caroline, Elosian, then
Then
Weir, right?
we're yeah, yeah. Uh, I I don't know. I guess it depends on how like globetrotting we are. Because if for her to like interact with Caden wherever whatever he does, she probably have to be mobile. So I'm guessing no. Maybe she like travels with Weir somewhere to do something. Uh, but we did find out that the vessel is just like a thing of teleportation, can like go lots of different places, which is cool. Um, but yeah, other than that,
The stone.
the stone, yeah,
I thought for a second that they were connected
yeah,
because he let the guy take one of them and he kept one. And I was like,
yeah,
oh, he's gonna just teleport to where the other one is, which they're gonna put in the vessel room.
yeah. That's what I thought too.
But
Um,
you don't have to. You can just use it.
yeah, I mean, we've already talked about Caden being Talcumar and Arkin David. That is going to obviously get fleshed out next book. Um, we'll see if he gets all of his memories back, or just the ones that he told the thing to give him. Yeah, I don't really have any other characters really.
Yeah.
I mean,
The only like I don't know, the only writing style or quote or whatever was the year and a day thing that I had.
yeah, I mean, yeah, we finally got some. I will say the battle was fun for as little as we got, but I thought it was written, good enough. So,
Yeah, we never actually talked about his writing style for like fights and battles, but I think overall they're pretty easy,
yeah,
not too complex, um, and kind of understand to follow what's going on.
yeah, I'm able to follow pretty well. Um, but yeah, overall, like same quality of writing notes, but
He definitely doesn't like to draw out fights and battles.
yeah, it's very short.
It's just like, hey, yeah, this is happening, and then these are the major parts, and we get to who won this battle, what was the fallout from it, and
Yeah, yeah,
not a whole Helm's Deep or chapter.
yeah. Because now the siege lasts maybe 2 chapters or something. The whole battle.
Yeah,
Um, and that's a lot of like there's a lot of like aftermath. Things like, oh, we made our way to uh
shield.
third shield, and like we passed a bunch of dead bodies or whatever, but he doesn't actually like like Sanderson would probably do like an action scene of them like pushing up to the third shield and getting there and then talking to the North Ward and blah 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 blah. He kind of just likes to cut to the aftermath.
Which is fine.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Yeah. Theme still mystery.
Mystery, yeah.
And I'm guessing this thing's gonna be redemption for Ark and David.
Yeah, I see that as I see this series as a very redemptive series.
Yeah. Or perhaps like depending on what happened, like do the ends justify the means. If like he like had to kill those people, but he gets to kill the devil or whatever the bad guy is. Um, yeah, I could see something like that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What was your athletic feat of the week?
Um, it's tough because like all of it's magic. A lot of it's magic. I guess I'm trying to think. You got one? You got a good one?
I liked um Caden fighting the five blind in the alleyway and
That was cool.
rescuing Kara.
Yeah, him carrying her up, like up. I think he just climbed the wall, so that was pretty athletic.
Yeah, it sounded like he just climbed the wall.
Yeah, so carrying a lady is not. Yeah, I'll go with that one too. Because I'm trying to think of anything else. Uh, Caden or Davian stabbing that dude in the leg and then mind raping him. I mean, I don't know how athletic that was, but he did do that. Um, Trying to think what else. Yes, I mean, I guess like what's his face, Alaric staying alive against magic people, not dying.
Elric,
Elric, yeah,
the soldier.
the soldier. He didn't die, so
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
pretty
the
pretty.
apart from the athletic feat, we do get another term, the Signari, which is like servants
Yeah,
of the augurs. Um,
yeah,
and I think that's what Driskin Thrall is. Like I think that's what he kind of called himself. Sorry, I just saw that note
yeah.
on my notes.
No, that works. It's good.
So
Good to remember. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Trying to go with that. What's your favorite moment?
um I really like when Caden went through the portal. Um it it kind of felt like a Shia Ghul type thing too.
Yeah.
Um Especially with like the narrow tunnel and then opening up into an antechamber.
Mm,
But just that whole scene, one getting some answers, especially about Caden, who's like this very powerful person in the story so far.
yeah.
Um, Getting an Excalibur like sword in the series, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, just add in some Arthurian legend to it.
Yeah.
Um,
Um.
yeah, and that like a lot of tension started to build like leading up to that moment as well.
Yeah.
I
I could
thought
see
there was
that.
more tension there than like with the battle itself.
Yeah. Just- the battle kind of ends in an anticlimax with him just killing everybody.
Yeah, but
Um.
also just like the battle, it was just like here and there were moments like, oh yeah, the blind are probably this many days away, and then talk about the rest of the story.
Yeah.
It wasn't like talking to generals, talking to knights or
Yeah.
whatever, and like everybody's preparing for this battle. It was just like, hey, did you hear the blind are like 4 days away? No, really? Oh, okay. Well, I'll see you
Yeah.
in 4 days.
And they were like so comically overmatched. So like it wasn't really a fight. It was just kind of like I don't even know how they lasted that long to be honest, because it seems like they were just getting just decimated. But
What, the
yeah,
humans or whatever?
the humans, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
they were built up to be so powerful. There was like, oh fuck, well, they get there, it's just everything is screwed up, and then they get there, and it's like almost like the last the battle against the White Walkers, you know?
yeah, I mean they were. I mean they did just own them all, but it didn't last or didn't happen as fast as you know you might think. But yeah, My favorite, I'm trying to think. Um, I think I'll do the like the whole like North Warden reveal, his death scene, all that stuff was really good.
That is a really good one.
Yeah. Recontextualizes the entire thing. I kind of wish we got a little bit more of the augur that was actually kind of ruling the nation. He's just kind of like a dude. I don't even remember his name, like Aaron or something.
Yeah, Aaron. How
Yeah.
did you feel about Asha actually figuring out that Aaron was controlling him?
Uh, I didn't really think anything of it, really. I just said, oh, okay, she put it together. I was like, cool.
Yeah.
I was more like, I guess I was more concentrated on the reveal than the how it was revealed at the time. Um, yeah. Yeah, and that whole thing is like you get to learn about like the shadow augurs and stuff with the Shadowheen and all this weird stuff. So that was all cool. And then if I would pick another one, it'd be at the very beginning. I thought the like memory of Malchesh's memory was really crazy and cool.
Yeah,
Um,
that one that one was cool.
yeah. And
Least, do you have a least favorite moment?
um, trying to think. Probably, yeah. I think it's just how little kind of answers we do get. How like still muddled this series is to me. And if I would actually pick a moment, while it was really cool that he just like killed everybody with the sword, he didn't like do anything cool. Like it wasn't like a Kamehameha. It was just kind of like I hope like, he didn't even like use the sword to like slash open reality or something crazy. Just kind of like blew them up with his mind, which wow, still also really cool. Not as cool as it could have been. Um, but yeah, I think it's just this, just being like, I don't really know what the fuck's going on. It's kind of my least favorite moment.
Um, Speaking of other moments, not necessarily favorite or least favorite, but the we do get the ring, right?
Yes, he gets the ring
Davian
from
does
from
get the
Asha.
ring from Asha that was the same ring design that Malshash had.
Yes, is the vessel that you shoots the wind. Because she's like, hey, the administration is going to confiscate this, so here you might as well have it. Um, so
Yeah, I was reminded of that because you were like blasting things out of the sword. I was like, hey, then the ring did that.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so Davian has the ring now.
Fabian has the ring. Um, yeah. Overall, I'd probably give this book like a 7.5.
I would agree.
Good, good, but a little lacking. Um, I can see why the series isn't like uber popular. It's like popular enough because I've seen it on bookshelves and stuff, but it's not like one of the big series. I can kind of see that it's a little clunky in its plotting. I mean, it probably makes all the sense in the world, but as you're reading it, you're just like, what is happening? I could see a lot of people dropping it pretty early.
I could see
Um,
that too.
but overall, like 7.5 is a good rating. A grade harsh. Um, you know, would probably depending on how the series goes, I probably would reread it. I enjoyed my time with it.
Yeah, it would be fun. I think it would be fun to revisit it, um, depending on how it wraps up.
Yeah,
It would be fun to go back and go, oh, okay, all of this makes sense now. And then
yeah,
you have that appreciation and you know just talking
yeah,
about that. It's like sure, sometimes things should be good like the whole way through. But sometimes it's for what you want to do. If it's so grand or they're so alien, if you will.
Yeah.
These concepts, you either have to take a lot of time and over explain it and get into the weeds, and people are going to get uh, disheartened and drop the book that
Yeah.
way. Or if you go the complete opposite and go, you know what, I'm not going to explain anything. I'm just going to go into it, and over time, it's going to explain itself and it's going to come to a head. And then once you reread it, then it makes sense.
Yeah.
Finding some type of little medium there. And I think
Yeah.
I hope the next book does it a little better, but he
I mean,
does
there's only
start.
three, so we should be getting answers, and like the pieces should be coming together. I mean, if not, it's gonna be really bad. But I would assume like book two is gonna be really good for that.
Yeah, I hope so. But he did at certain moments, and it was almost like times where I was like, man, I wish he would explain something. And right around the time of me feeling that way, he started to explain something. It might not have been
Yeah.
the things that I wanted to have explained at the moment,
Hmm.
but it was something. So there was some type of editing and like,
Yeah.
hey, right around here you should probably reveal to keep people's interest. Felt like there was some of that going on.
Yeah. Yeah, because like, we've, compared for better or worse this book a lot to Wheel of Time. And like that's this Wheel of Time also has like prophecies and like visions of shit that's gonna happen in the future that like won't really make much sense, but they make enough sense to where it will kind of titillate it, but it's not like it, they're not prevalent enough to like bog down like the story that is immediately being told. So and those make much more sense on a reread, are fun to do. But like I think if we just knew the overall like goal, which I think is gonna get explained next book, like because we don't really know, like, are we fighting the devil or are we fighting like Go
So
Ash or whatever?
let me
Like
play
we,
devil's advocate, right?
yeah,
So if this ends up being a time travel loop type
yeah,
thing like we're expecting it to be, right? Then it becomes where do we start this loop? What point in the
yeah,
circle do we start it, right? So at which point you're going to wherever you started, you're going to have some type of mystery that isn't going to be explained to begin with,
true,
or would spoil something else, right?
yeah,
So maybe that's what's happening, right?
yeah,
Maybe if we found out more about the history of the world, it's actually the future of the world and it spoils it. So we just got to be where we are. And, as Brandon Sanderson says, journey before the
Destiny.
destination.
Yeah, and
Like,
like I can see that. That's why like I gave it a 7.5, but honestly, it could be an incomplete because I think that more than a lot of books that I've read, I think the next books are going to inform the like how you feel about this book. Because yeah, it could be like that, and it could make a lot of stuff in this book retroactively really cool. And like I'm fine with that because it's written well enough, and like it's the characters are cool. So if more information could make this book a lot cooler. But right now, I'm just kind of like, we'll see. We'll see what's going on.
yeah,
And I'm excited.
I'm excited to continue too. But we'll have to wait.
Yeah, at least a week.
Yeah, at least a week.
Um,
Do you have any final predictions?
uh, I'm just gonna predict that the crazy face that Davian turned into is like Arkham Devade's face. And he got that from his friend or whatever. because he's like dead or something. Maybe I don't know how that actually works, but
Okay.
it's something. It's gonna be something like that. Some like yeah. Um, I don't know. That I think they're gonna do a love triangle with Davian, the other augur lady, and Asha.
Oh, Ishel.
It shall, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of feel that Davian and Asha are gonna not be in love anymore.
Mm. It's got like
Um,
another couple of characters in another book series that we talk about a lot in this.
I don't know what you're talking about, Justin.
Mm.
Yes.
I could see that. Um, I think we're gonna get like
I mean,
I think
Ishel also very. She seems like a men type character.
true, true. I think we're gonna get the Davian, uh, Asha like vision thing in like real time next book. So like he's gonna have his crazy scars and like we're gonna get from like what that scene actually meant from there. I think we're gonna do that book two.
I can see that. I can see that.
And we're gonna go beyond the boundary.
We have to go beyond the boundary.
Yeah, yeah. Makes sense. It's kind of all I got, really.
Yeah, sounds great to me.
Yeah.
I I don't really have any more
Let me see.
theories.
I guess I'll do another for Weir. I guess he becomes king. I don't know.
I think he'd become king.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what his role is in this book, right?
Oh no, weird.
Mm,
Caroline would have to,
to die, yeah.
or
Or marry him. Would be weird. So yeah, maybe
or
he doesn't become
or
king.
the other word, abscond.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that the word?
Something like that. Starts with an A. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, she could do that. Or I think
abdicate.
abdicate, yeah. I do think Asha's gonna become non-shadowed next book because we already know that happens.
I
So,
think I would agree with that.
um, and but yeah, I don't really know what Weir's gonna do.
He, I could see him becoming the. What if he unites? If he doesn't unite Tolshin and Tolathian, he becomes Tolathian. He is the becomes the head administrator or whatever for Tolathian,
I can see that.
and that unites the 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 North Warden with the Gifted.
True,
Like
yeah.
that, I feel like that's his purpose.
Yeah, I can see that. He's like a bridge.
Not to rule as a king, but to bridge the gap between the gifted and the nobility.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
And we're gonna learn the Shadrakin's real name.
Yes, it's May Aladar.
It might as well might be. I knew it all along.
All right. Well, this was fun. Fun book.
Mhm.
Next week is Dungeon Crawler Carl Book 2.
Yeah, the whole
So
thing.
join us for that. If it's not your cup of tea, if you didn't read the first one, you know, whatever. This is our podcast. we want you to be here, and we want to present options for you to read and then join the conversation. So if you want to join in the conversation, you can follow us on YouTube at Paperweights Pod, and you can comment on things on this video if you want to comment any predictions that you have, or you know, other conversations. Sorry, you
Yeah.
can comment on the video, and we'll reply, we'll respond, and start up a conversation.
Yeah, and if you haven't checked out the first Veteran Crawler Carl podcast, I did it with Chris because Brandon was doing other stuff that week, and it was fun time. And they're pretty short, at least the first couple, so you have time to catch up if you want to read 2 books and get 2 new podcasts.
Yeah, and if you made it this far, wherever you listen or watch, I guess YouTube's the only place you can watch, but if you listen on any other platform, give us a follow, like, rating and review if you can, subscribe, uh, share it with your friends, share it on social media, share it with your enemies, your family, um, and get more people listening to this in the conversation, and then you can have a conversation about books, and you can have a conversation about us talking about the book with your friends, and how awesome we are at predicting things, or how lame we are, or you didn't like our take on that, and things
Yeah.
like that. So
And also you can put in some recommendations for shorter novels that we might do in between bigger like Licanius trilogy type stuff
yeah, that's
to
it.
break it up.
Let us know what we should read. Let us know what you would like us to read, that's your favorite and you would like us to talk about.
Hmm.
So, and then don't forget to visit our sponsor, Mudcat Whiskers. Website's mudcatwhiskers.com. Use code Paperweights at checkout and you'll save yourself 15%. And we will catch you next time.
Bye.